Hello, good morning and warm welcome dear students to your geography class. Today we will do chapter 3, Humidity and Clouds part 1. Now observe this picture in the background, children. Have you ever looked up in the sky? Like you can see this boy and this girl, they're looking up in the sky. Have you ever seen the clouds? And have you noticed, you will have noticed that there are many clouds in different shapes and sizes. As you can see in the picture here, this is a feather type of cloud. It's called as cirrus. This is a long type of cloud called as stratus. This is a big bunch of cloud called as cumulonimbus. Then over here you can see the cirrocumulus, and there are small type of cotton type of clouds called as altocumulus. You will see all this type of clouds in this lesson. And also I know you have observed this in the sky. Secondly, you will also, I am sure you are also have felt hot and humid during the summer or cold during the rainy and winter seasons, right? These are the different weather conditions. Now in this lesson we will study all about this in detail. Let's go ahead. Firstly, we'll do an activity. It's called match the weather to the clothing. Here are the different types of weather, and these are the different types of clothing. Now, currently, what do you feel? Is it sunny, windy, hot, snowy, rainy, cloudy, stormy, cold, or misty? What type of weather is now? Yes, you're right. Now secondly, I want to do is match the weather to the right clothing and tell me which is your favorite weather from this all: sunny day, windy day, hot day, snowy weather, rainy day, cold day, misty day. From these types of weather, which is your favorite one and why? I want you to write this in the classroom. Okay. Also match the right clothing to the weather. Now we will go to the explanation of the lesson of part 1. Alright. In this part 1 you will learn about different weather conditions, evaporation, humidity in the air. And now there are two types. One is absolute humidity, one is relative humidity. Okay, all this we'll learn in part 1.
Welcome students. Today we will learn chapter 3, Humidity and Clouds, part 1. In this chapter we will learn some important points like evaporation, condensation, humidity, types of humidity and types of clouds. Can you tell? Look at the pictures shown in the figure and discuss the weather conditions shown in these pictures in the class and write the descriptions. Picture 1. Weather condition dry and hot. Place Rajasthan, Thar. Picture 2. Weather condition cold and dry. Place Kashmir, Himalayan mountain. Picture 3. Weather condition hot and humid. Place coastal city, Mumbai. Geographical explanation. Generally, we keep talking about the weather conditions. We can identify the weather conditions through the conversations above. We experience the dampness or dryness in the air throughout the year. The changes occurring in the weather conditions in desert areas, coastal areas and mountainous areas is evident from the figures. Rajasthan lies in a region with dry and hot air. There is hardly any moisture in the air. People wear loose cotton clothes. Kashmir Valley lies in a region with cold and dry air. Moisture is minimal in air. People cover themselves with warm clothes. In the Mumbai, the air is hot and humid. There is a proportion of moisture is very high in the air because it is a coastal city. In addition, if dark clouds cover the sky, the content of moisture in the air increases. In the above discussion, the words hot, moist, cold, etc. show the condition of the air. They relate to the content of the moisture in the air. Moisture in the air is invisible, but it is the major component of air which is taken into consideration while discussing the weather of any place. For precipitation to occur any place, presence of moisture in the air is very important. Precipitation means rain or snow falls to condense on the ground. Think about it. During the winter, when you exhale on the glass of your mirror, what happens? If you do this in the summer, why don't this happen? Answer. In the winter season, the moisture holding capacity of the air is very low due to low temperature. Therefore, when we exhale on the glass on the mirror, the condensation of water present in the exhaled air takes place. As its effect, very thin water drops are found on the glass of mirror. Because of the sun's heat, the water on the earth gets converted into water vapor. The process of evaporation is dependent on the dryness, temperature, and speed of the wind. If the air is dry and hot, the rate of evaporation increases. The process of evaporation continues even in the dry and cold air. On the other hand, evaporation occurs very slowly in the moist air. If the velocity and temperature of the air is high, then evaporation occurs rapidly. If a wind is blowing slowly and air is cooler, the evaporation occurs slowly. The proportion of water vapor in the air is called its humidity. The dryness and the dampness of the air depends upon the proportion of water vapor. Air can hold moisture in specific quantity at a specific temperature only. As air cools down, its moisture holding capacity reduces. Warmer air can hold more moisture than cold air. At a certain temperature, the moisture holding capacity of air becomes equal to proportion of moisture present in it. It is called the saturation of the air. Try this. Take a collador or tray which is deeper in the center. Take a piece of sponge. On the flat part of the tray, make the holes with the help of nails. Keep the sponge on the center of the tray or collador. Make sure there is no water in the sponge. Pour water on the sponge with a big spoon. The students in the group should note how many spoons of water have been poured. Keep pouring water with the spoon till the sponge becomes wet with water. Note that what happens if you keep pouring water even after that. Now, answer the following questions. What happened to the water which was poured initially? Answer. The water which was poured initially was absorbed in the sponge. When you were pouring water on the sponge, what did you expect? Answer. We expected that water will trickle out from the sponge. Trickle out means flowing out. What happened when you poured more water on the sponge? Answer. Water trickled out from the sponge. What conclusion can you draw from this? Answer. After a certain limit, the water holding capacity of the sponge comes to an end. Geographical explanation. Let's suppose that the air is like a piece of sponge. How many spoons of water does the sponge absorb? After the sponge is full of water, drops of water starts trickling out. One can tell the number of spoons of water required to make the water trickle down the sponge by observation. This implies that the water holding capacity of the sponge is fulfilled. This makes it saturated. Similarly, when the proportion of moisture in the air exceeds its water holding capacity, precipitation in the form of snow and rain occurs on the earth. The moisture holding capacity of the air depends upon its temperature. Higher the temperature, higher water holding capacity. We have learned earlier that as we go higher in the sky, the air becomes cooler. So as per this, as we go higher, the vapor holding capacity of the air will decrease. Generally, humidity of the air is measured in the grams per cubic meter. When the humidity in the air is 0 gram per cubic meter, the air is said to be dry. If the humidity in the air at 30 degrees Celsius temperatures is 37 grams per cubic meter, then the air is said to be saturated. Types of humidity. There are 3 types of humidity: absolute humidity, relative humidity, and specific humidity. In this chapter, we will learn about the absolute and relative humidity. The amount of water vapor in a 1 cubic meter of air is the absolute humidity of the air. For example, the absolute humidity of the air near the coastal areas is higher than the air in the interior. Absolute humidity is higher in equatorial areas, while it reduces as we move towards the poles. The distribution of land and water on the earth and the season also affect the absolute humidity. Use your brain power. First, in which season is humidity generally more? Answer. The humidity is generally more in the monsoon season. Second, how does humidity affect the human body? Answer. The rate of respiration and sweating increases. Third, observe how humidity affects the food material at our home. Answer. The fungus flourish on the food material and it gets spoiled. Fourth, is there a relationship between the formation of fungus and humidity? Answer. Yes, humidity supports the growth of fungus. How is the early or late drying up of clothes related to the humidity? Answer. As the moisture holding capacity is found to be high In low humidity air, it leads to early drying up of clothes. Relative humidity. Relative humidity means the amount of water vapor present in the air can be expressed as a percentage of the amount is needed for the saturation at the same temperature and same volume. It expressed in percentage. Relative humidity can be calculated as relative humidity RH is equal to absolute humidity upon vapor holding capacity into 100. Question: what will be the relative humidity of air whose absolute humidity is 20 gram per cubic meter and vapor holding capacity is 30 gram per cubic meter? Answer: absolute humidity is equal to 20 gram per cubic meter. Vapor holding capacity is equal to 30 gram per cubic meter. Relative humidity is equal to absolute humidity upon vapor holding capacity into 100. Relative humidity is equal to 20 upon 30 into 100. Relative humidity is equal to 66.66%. Relative humidity of air is 66.66%. Question: if the absolute humidity of the air is 15 gram per cubic meter and vapor holding capacity is 15 gram per cubic meter, then what is the relative humidity of the air? Answer: absolute humidity is equal to 15 gram per cubic meter. Vapor holding capacity is equal to 15 gram per cubic meter. Relative humidity is equal to absolute humidity upon vapor holding capacity into 100. Relative humidity is equal to 15 upon 15 into 100. Relative humidity is equal to 100%. Relative humidity of air is 100%. On the basis of the examples given above, tell which air is saturated. That air is saturated whose relative humidity is 100%. The amount of water vapor changes according to the difference in temperature, and similarly relative humidity also changes. Generally, relative humidity is more in the mornings and nights. In the afternoon, as temperature